Welcome to Dub Talk Live, brought to you by Fit Aid. We're not wearing cowboy hats, but I think we can keep the vibe going a little bit. We talked on the we talked on the pregame show about the fact that the Warriors needed to win this game. They wanted to win out, so they took down OKC, they took down the Kings. Blazers up next. The Kings never had a lead in this game, so the Warriors were in control. Now, they built a 17-point lead. The Kings got it to 1, but they never had a lead.
Come on now.
Come on. Warriors are going to take it. 22-point lead at Golden 1. It's a tough place to play.
Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson had no business being out there in the last 5 minutes of that game.
Okay.
But they were out there because the Warriors messed around and made the game close and gave the Kings a chance to stay in the game for 3 quarters. And it's, they keep talking about building better habits, building good habits, building good habits.
That's true.
And then they go out and they have a bunch of turnovers that help a Kings team that didn't want to win the game because you set 3 starters who were injured. But, I mean, so the Warriors, they have some work to do, and they know this. They can't play like this and expect to do anything in the postseason. Okay,
we can't just skirt over this. A bunch of turnovers was 24. Had the Kings been better about taking advantage of that, this could have been a much different game. But even the Kings coming in, they were down De'Aaron Fox. Okay, so they were missing 3 starters. Down De'Aaron Fox, their top scorer. Domantas Sabonis, the league's top rebounder. And Kevin Huerter, who is one of their best 3-point shooters. So this really, on paper, was going to be a gimme for the Warriors. But that doesn't mean anything when they've struggled on the road. And when we've seen them let their guard down. They didn't, though. They come away with the W.
They got the win. It's just that when you see other teams resting players because the season is over for them, and the Warriors have a game like this where the season should be over for them after they should be able to take command through 3 quarters and have Steph, Klay, and Draymond on the bench. But that's not how it worked. And they were sloppy enough to keep the game close enough to give the Kings a chance to make enough runs. And this Kings team would have been, they would be really hard to lose to. But the Warriors kind of made it interesting for a while because they were just not doing the right things at the right times, and they just kept the game competitive for most of the game. So it's just, they're one more win and they're in. But the question is, can they just suddenly snap and become, a team that is worthy of winning a championship again? The way they've been playing all season and the way they played again tonight.
All right, well, the Blazers are next. The Blazers have a back-to-back on Saturday and Sunday. You saw the injury report. They have 9 players out. I mean, as much as the Blazers would love to play spoiler, they do not have the personnel to do so. Okay, so Monte, as you add this up, let's just feel good about the win for a second. Just for a second.
All right.
How confident are you that this is going to be the 3-6 matchup, the Kings and the Warriors?
About 95%. I mean, and I think it'll be wondrous.
That's a great way to put that.
I mean, because, the Warriors, the Kings are where the Warriors were years ago. No playoffs year after year after year after year, watching other teams go to the playoffs. And now the Kings are in the playoffs. And they're not in the playoffs, but they have a home court advantage in the first round. And if you're playing the Warriors and you have home court advantage, it didn't matter in the past. This year, it might matter. You like to think if you're a Warriors fan that once they get to the postseason, it won't matter where the Warriors play. Their experience will take over, and it won't matter who they play. I don't know. I don't know based on what they've done this season. So, but I think if you're the Kings, who would you rather play? Who's going to give you more energy, more go get them than the Warriors? If you're the Warriors, if you're a Warriors fan, it's like, okay, come on, Kings, you think you're ready? Show us. So I think this series, I want to see it, and I hope it happens, and I think it will.
That was actually a lot of the post-game sound from both sides. The Kings knowing that they were shorthanded in this game. The Kings saying, we think we can beat anybody 1 through 8 in the postseason. Klay Thompson saying the same thing. Give us 7 games against anybody, and we're confident in our chances. This has some juice to it already. I think these teams know.
If you're De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis and Kevin Huerter on the bench in street clothes, and you're watching this tonight, you're going, these guys, defending champions? I mean, so I do believe the Warriors will find another level in the postseason because that's what they do. But the way they've played this season, it's hard to anticipate that it will happen
Okay.
There's a chance, yes. But will it happen? The way they played this season, I don't think anything is assured.
All right, well, let's just indulge for a moment, because if you're 95% sure
Yes.
this is the 3-6,
Yes.
we have something to consider. This is like an I-80 battle between two very hungry NorCal teams. I really liked this question from Warriors World. He asked, let me see it up there, if they meet in the first round, we're going to assume they do. What percentage of the crowd in Sacramento will be Dubs fans? Because I got to see this firsthand as a sideline reporter. Warriors fans, I mean, there's the fans to begin with in
Yes.
Sacramento, but they'll definitely travel for this. I mean, would you put it at 60, 40, 70, 70, 30? And I'll give credit, a lot of credit to Kings fans this season for the way that they've showed up for their team. The fact that the whole city is
Yes.
invigorated by the fact that they
Yes.
ended the 16-year drought.
Yes.
So I do, Kings fans will show up for this.
Oh,
That's why I think
absolutely.
the Kings fans are the 70.
Oh, yeah.
The Warriors
no
are
doubt.
the 30.
I think in recent years, you go to games in Sacramento, and there were as many Warriors fans as there were Kings fans.
Absolutely.
Easy.
Yeah.
And sometimes it felt like more. They were louder because the Kings were such a bad place. And the Warriors were the Warriors. They were champions. They had, they were Curry, Steph, Klay, KD. I mean, they had all this star power. But the Kings this year, they've become a thing again in Sacramento.
They become a force. Oh, yeah. Purple everywhere.
Yes, yeah. And it's kind of like the Warriors back in 2007 when they were the We Believe Warriors, when they made the playoffs after like a 13-year drought. They hadn't been to the playoffs. And finally they get there, and the Oracle Arena was nuts. Mm-hmm. It was nuts. Mm-hmm. And even what the Warriors have done in recent years, the sound, the decibel level at Oracle never reached what it reached in 2007.
Okay.
Because that was years of waiting.
Pent up,
It was cathartic, it was like, oh my God. And so you felt it. And I think in Sacramento, you're going to run into that too.
Yeah.
And the Warriors have seen, in the past, they've seen some really, Boston last year, they've seen some visiting arenas that are like hostile.
Yeah.
Literally hostile in Boston. So that's why I think it'll be so much fun to see how the Warriors handle games in Sacramento. They will have some support there more than they would have had than they had in Boston. But I still want to see how that series will play out, because I think the Kings are a kind of team that has an offense that will challenge the Warriors' defense. And the Warriors' defense this season has been great at home and terrible on the road.
Mm-hmm. This is the Warriors' 10th road win of the season. Thinking about Golden One Center, one of the best arenas in the league, they announced tonight that this game against the Warriors was the biggest game that they've ever had. So their NBA sellout, the most fans in that building, and it's not even the playoffs. All right, we got to wrap this up. So I was talking about the comments from both of the locker rooms. Let's go to this one from Metu, because he's saying if you end up playing the Warriors in the first round of the NBA playoffs, he says, quote, "We're not scared of them. We're not scared of anybody. We're at full health." See, that's why they think they lost tonight. We think we can beat them. So there you go. This is setting up to be.
I like that attitude.
I do too. That has to be your attitude heading into the postseason. Yeah.
And again,
you're the higher seed and the team with the better record.
Well, the Kings have a much better record. I mean, they clinched a playoff berth before the Warriors clinched anything.
Yep.
They've played the Warriors. The season series has been flat, but if you look at who the Kings are and what they've done this season, the fact that they got Mike Brown there, who was with the Warriors for 6 years, Leandro Barbosa, and you've got Mike, Leandro, and Luke Locks over there on the staff.
HB.
But Harrison Barnes. Remember Harrison Barnes was a starter in 2015 on a championship team?
Yeah.
And then in 2016, when the Warriors started looking at Kevin Durant, they were like, who? Harrison who? Exactly.
Sure. That goes in his mind.
Discarded like an old paper towel. Sorry, Harrison, thank you for the championship last year, but we'll see you down the road.
Yeah.
And then you have Vivek Ranadive, the Kings governor, former minority partner in the Warriors.
Oh, yeah. The familiarity here, the connections, it's a big deal.
Yeah, so there's so many reasons why this series will be engaging and entertaining, and I make it happen.
Yes. Should this be the series, it's going to be an absolute treat. All right, Klay Thompson sat down at the podium. Let's hear what Klay had to say.
Well, it always feels great to win. I think it will click even more when Andrew's in the lineup, because he's such a important player to what we do. And we still have another level to reach. So I think we should just keep staying humble and working hard, and we'll get there. I know we will. Why not turn the ball? Did we tonight? At least we had 35 assists, but yeah, we definitely need to cut that in half going forward. Sometimes we can be a little careless, so we got to right that ship when playoff time comes. That's for sure.
Go ahead. Well, I know you're not thinking about this at this time, though, but considering, a lot of things are undecided, but what would the Sacramento Kings Warrior matchup look like in the playoff team?
That'd be amazing. I don't know when that's ever happened. Has it happened?
No.
Yeah, that'd be special for the Northern California. I mean, Kings got great fans. We got great fans. Mike B's got them boys playing together and hard, and that'd be really cool just for Northern California, which is a basketball hotbed at the moment, and it would be nice for the travel. That would be very nice. That'd be really nice.
Locked in tonight, and last year
I'm always locked in.
You talked last year about appreciating sort of every step that you've been through. You relish it even more this time of year as you get close to the postseason and it sort of matters more?
Absolutely. I played a full season. I missed like 13 games or whatever, but to play in almost nearly 70 games is a huge milestone for me, and to shake off the early season rust and have the shooting year I did is even more impressive. I give myself a pat on the back for those years of so much hard work when nobody was watching. Those were really tough times for me, and I persevered, and I still am hungry to be even greater than I was.
Dante said that Steve kind of came in at halftime and reminded you guys what was at stake and how you guys needed to kind of turn it around in the second half. But Dante said you're not a team that needs to turn it around in the second half, like you shouldn't be. What do you guys need to do just to kind of be more locked in at the start so you don't have to find yourself?
I would say we have to value the ball more, take great shots, and communicate on defense. We do those three things. I don't see a team who can beat us in a 7-game series when we're healthy. So if we do those three things going forward, I think we'll be in a great position to repeat. It's much more individual, but you can always encourage your teammates. That's what team sports are about. So just, the onus is on Steph, Dre, and I to lead, and the young guys will follow.
Dante was saying how you guys have a good problem with all you have to do is win in Portland and you guys are out of the play-in, where a lot of other teams we need to win and this team has to lose. So what is the mindset heading into Portland, and is that a good problem to have, that you have control over your own destiny?
So, it's not ideal, but it is a great situation. Like, we have to go up there and treat it as a must-win game, and that's a great way to prep for the playoffs. So I'm excited. I get to play in front of my hometown and my family, and I always love playing in the Rose Garden. It's always special for me.
But you just kind of touched on it, but what do you expect Sunday to be like? You guys can be anywhere from 5th to 8th after Sunday. And like you said, there's a personal significance for you now. And what do you expect just the dynamics of Sunday's game to be like?
We have to bring the intensity. I don't know if Dame Lillard's playing. I hope he doesn't. Still can't relax though. You have to respect your opponent. Anything can happen in this league, but we got to go up there and just take care of business and play just that Warriors brand of basketball that's made us the dynasty we are.
One more game left in the regular season for the Warriors to take care of business. It happens to be in Portland, where Klay Thompson loves to play, grew up there a little bit, so he'll bring the fire there. Hey, somebody who brought the fire, we have to make sure at the beginning of this show, we give Kevon Looney some credit. Really fun to talk about Loon. 16 rebounds, but he had 5 offensive rebounds in the first quarter. He was the tone setter early on, Monte.
Yeah, and we talk about how the Warriors are so small, and Looney keeps going out there and doing big things. 16 rebounds. He's proven himself that he's one of the league's best rebounders. Tonight he had 7 assists.
There you go.
That's a lot.
That's a lot for Looney.
Again, he has the ball in a situation where he knows the shooters are where the shooters are. He knows where they're going to be. So and when he has the ball, he's not going to shoot. He only took 4 shots tonight. So I just think that Looney, what he does, his teammates love what he does. They appreciate what he does, and the Warriors need what he does. Without Looney, I mean, I don't know who'd be a bigger loss. You know, you don't have Wiggins right now. You don't have Looney.
Yeah.
You know, Looney's huge for this team.
Yep, played every game last season, played every game this season. He said he set a goal at the top of the season to be top 5 in offensive boards. I should have checked this number before we came, but I believe he came into the game. He's been the leader in offensive rebounds at least a few times this season. And Kevon Looney meeting his goal again to play all these games, to dominate the glass, and to be there for his teammates. Steve Kerr, I'll always ride with Looney.
And he should.
Yeah.
I mean, and Steph, Klay, Draymond should too.
Yeah.
You know, we look at those 3 guys and say that's the core, but Looney's a part of that group too. And you know, he's won multiple championships just like they have. He doesn't get the glory they get. He doesn't get the salary they get, but he does the dirty work, and he's an essential part of what this team has to do to win games in the postseason.
You'll probably remember when we were listening to Klay Thompson, the first thing he said was something about Andrew Wiggins, how nice it is to have him back, how important he'll be to the postseason. So why don't we have a conversation about that? Dubs Talk Live, brought to you by FitAid. We'll return in a moment.
Dubs Talk Live is presented by FitAid Clean Energy and Sports Recovery, the energy drink for athletes. FitAid Energy is naturally sweetened with only 15 calories, no sucralose, no aspartame, and no compromises.
Jeez, can we do Wiggins first, please? That's our meatiest conversation. Okay, and then how much time left for the seed block? Yeah, sounds good to me. All right, hey, YouTube folks, thank you for joining us. See the regular names in here. Really appreciate you watching now all season long, and we will definitely see you in the postseason as well. Alyssa says tickets at Golden One are priced higher than Chase Center. I will not have a chance to check that during the show, but if that is true, that's wild and good for the Kings this season.
It is. I mean, you know, the Kings, for a while, they couldn't give away tickets.
Hey.
You know, and I've been up there when the Kings were good, and back in the early part of the century, 15, 20 years ago.
That's the Mike Bibby years?
Yeah, Mike Bibby, Chris Webber, Vonnie Divac.
Yeah, they were on the cover of SI. That's what I remember.
Doug Christie, all those guys were up there.
Yeah.
And that place was wild. I mean, it was one of the best home court arenas in the NBA at that time. And I was there for the Game 7 in 2002 when they lost Game 7 to the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And there was a sense of despair you can feel because they were so close. They were so close. They battled the Lakers in previous postseasons, and they had them right there. They were on their own court, and they had a chance right there, and they lost by, I think, 6 points. And it was like, I literally saw a grown man run out of the arena screaming.
What? Like hair on fire kind of screaming? Oh,
I mean, the frustration level was peak.
Oh, gosh.
Because they were so close. And all the years of getting close, and then that year, they were right there at Game 7 at home and couldn't quite pull it out.
Man, those memories stick around. Hey everybody, welcome to Dubs Talk, brought to you by FitAid. So there's a new injury designation for Andrew Wiggins. We know that he's not out with personal issues anymore. Right. We've seen him at practice, he's been scrimmaging, and now the injury reports notes that he is reconditioning for his return. That is wonderful to see. And it's not just the team trying to lock up this 6 seed to stay above the play-in. They're trying to buy themselves some time. Why is that so essential?
Well, Wiggins won't play Sunday in Portland. He's not ready to play NBA basketball, but they think he would be ready to play if they have a week.
Okay.
And today is Friday, so the playoffs won't begin until next Saturday. The playoffs are 8 days away.
Okay.
So Wiggins, if they lock up the 6th seed, they won't play until next Saturday at the soonest. And so if you're the Warriors, you're like, please. Get that sixth spot. You know, we don't care who we play. Put us in the playoffs. We don't want the play-in game. Play-in game begins Tuesday.
Yep.
So the difference between Tuesday and Saturday for Andrew Wiggins is huge. And so I think they believe that if they can get to the 6th spot and stay there. Right now, they're actually 5th. They could drop to 6th and Clippers win tomorrow.
Clippers play tomorrow. And they play the Blazers, who are out 9 guys. I mean, let's add this up.
And they play the Suns on Sunday, who won't care. The Suns did rest the guys tonight already. So, so I expect the Clippers to win the next 2 games and take the 5 spot, and the Warriors get the 6th spot. And that will give Wiggins time to get ready to play. I believe that they believe that Wiggins will be in the starting lineup when they play next weekend in the postseason if they get the 6-3 series.
It's kind of interesting for the Dubs. There are some players who need playing time. I would even wrap in GP2. Maybe he's been playing well, but I'm sure he would like to get acclimated more. And then some players who look like they could really use some rest. I would point at Draymond there.
Oh, first. First.
I
mean, I think Loon could use it too, you know, because I know Steve has thought about giving him a night off, and Loon was like, no.
Loon said no.
Yeah. So I think all 4 of the vets could use the time to like sort of reset themselves. And Draymond is first on that list because he's the most beaten up, I think. I mean, he's got stuff from head to toe.
You can see some of it on his shoulder.
It's shoulder, it's hand, it's wrist, it's
back,
knee, it's
hand,
back.
It's clutching his head, and it's
so
like, geez.
It's like this dude is playing through misery. And tonight, you know, he gives them only 4 points, but he had 5 assists, 5 rebounds. You know, so a couple of block shots, and he comes away and he's plus 30. So
plus 30.
Yeah. So it's like he is so important to what they do that you don't want to think about what the Warriors would do without him because they wouldn't be in the postseason very long.
No, I
don't. So get him as ready as you possibly can, and he can use those days as much as Wiggins.
All right, while we're talking about this, GP2 played more than 20 minutes tonight, 4 of 5. You know the impact that he makes. In fact, can we show you some of that impact on back-to-back possessions? Okay, this is when he has that block on Davis. Look at him high-five that fan. Hustles back. So he's behind the play right now. Watch him race to the corner. There it is.
Spot up.
Yep. I'm open. There you go.
Boom.
Defense on one end, offense on the other. And Jordan Poole went wild for his buddy.
I don't know. I really don't know. I have a hard time thinking of someone who comes off a bench for any team in the NBA that can change the direction of a game with defense better than Gary. I mean, you know, there are some great defenders in this league. I mean, Jaren Jackson Jr. is great. Mikal Bridges is great. But those guys are starters.
Okay.
Gary comes off the bench, and we've seen guys come off the bench in the NBA and change games with offense. Guys come in shooting. Jamal Crawford made a career out of doing that, coming off the bench and firing, getting buckets. Lou Williams made a career out of doing that. You know, you've got these guys.
He wanted to come off the bench. It's like, when does somebody ask for that?
Exactly. So they've had 6 man was always a guy who came off the bench for the most part and got buckets. Andre was a different kind of 6 man. He was an offensive, defensive guy. And now you got a guy like Gary Payton who is much the same way in that he's offense and defense, but he's defense first. And he's a defensive impact player off the bench. And I just don't know if there's any more of those guys in the league. He's special in that way.
He is that guy. The Warriors so happy to have him back. All right, when we come back, we'll take a look at the standings. Burn them into your mind. The Warriors have 1 game left, and they can control their fates. We'll be right back on Dubs Talk.
Dubs Talk Live is presented by Fit Aid Clean Energy and Sports Recovery, the energy drink for athletes. Fit Aid Energy is naturally sweetened with only 15 calories, no sucralose, no aspartame, and no compromises.
Are we back on YouTube? All right, this is a very active, comment section. D is saying GP2 and Dante together are fire. That is awesome. Foul Sharpton, I like that, said if they make the finals and fly into the Bay, then I'm going to hit a lot of you up to see where to go. We've got some friends here. Making friendships in the comment section.
Good.
I dig it. Yeah, GP2 and Dante, 2-headed monsters. Hey, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I got a text from somebody that said Golden State limited the NBA's #1 scoring team, averaging 121.3 points per game, entering the night to 97 points.
97.
But, I mean.
They were missing a lot of people.
They were missing their 3 best
The Warriors
players.
still had to take care of business.
They're missing 3 guys who usually can combine for like 70 points.
Yeah. This was a 22-point win for the Warriors.
Yeah.
They had to have it. But it's nice to see a wire-to-wire win for the
haven't been many of those this year.
No.
Haven't been many of those. On the road, too?
No. Yeah. Lisa is saying, I'm glad JK didn't get seriously hurt. Yeah, he took a spill. It was the bounce. It was like the second bounce afterward. That was like, oh no. I couldn't tell if he landed on his hip or like his chest and his ribs or something, but he definitely needed a moment on the floor.
What he didn't feel tonight, he might feel tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
That's the scary part.
Yeah.
So, according to my guy, Daryl Arata, this is the third wire-to-wire win for the Warriors this season.
Excellent.
So that's 3.
There you go.
For the defending champions, had 3 wire-to-wire wins. Yeah. That's not who the Warriors used to be, but that's who they are now.
Aloha, Eric, Catherine, Otis, Foul Sharpton, I love that name. Tian wants to know if J. Michael Green is going to play. No, I believe right now he is out of the lineup.
He's out of the rotation. Yeah.
Out of the rotation, excuse me.
Yeah, and I think, there may come a time when he'll play again, but right now, he's not one of the top 9. Yeah.
We are back on Dubs Talk. Let's take a look at the West. I feel like we need the Wild West hats. Yeah. Show the standings, please, Maestro. Our trusted producer, Flo. The Warriors right now are in 5th, but Monte mentioned because the Clippers have some games left and they have the tiebreaker. Not identical records there, but yeah, just half a game back. Right. This could flip. The Clippers are probably in a good position to leapfrog the Warriors, but the Warriors will still be above that play-in line.
Yes, absolutely. The Clippers win tomorrow. The Clippers move ahead of the Warriors in the 5th. The Warriors are in 6th. The Warriors win on Sunday. It won't matter what anybody else does. They're there. They're in the postseason. Clippers will have to lose to the Suns, who are resting people already, on Sunday for the Warriors to have a chance to get to 5. But I think that's why I think it's pretty sure that it's going to be a 6-3 Warriors-Kings series. And I guess that would be so juicy.
I think that would be fantastic, too. Looking at the Blazers right now, I mean, they're already in the season is over kind of mode. They put Dame on the shelf starting on March 28th. Yeah, he's out with a calf injury. 9 players out for the Blazers against the Clippers tomorrow. Skeleton crew. Yeah. And you have to wonder who they're going to put on the floor for the Warriors as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking at the lottery already. And I mean, who can blame them? Because they weren't going anywhere. They realized that a few weeks ago. And so I think Dame's pride kept him in the lineup for a while because he's battled some injuries this year.
Yes, he has.
And they reached the point where, you know what, just shut him down because we're not going anywhere this year. What are we going to do if we get to the playoffs? They were out.
Okay. All right. So the Warriors, 1 game left. They wanted to win out. They have to take care of business. Because I did want to ask you, of course the Blazers want to play spoiler, but I really don't see how it's possible with this kind of crew.
They don't have enough, And hopefully if the Warriors play the kind of game that they know they need to play, they can watch. They're going to practice tomorrow in Portland.
Okay.
And they will watch the video of this game, and they will be like,
24 turnovers.
What were we doing out there? And I think the goal on Sunday will be to try and shut the starters down early. Okay. Not by halftime, but maybe third quarter, maybe let them play to start the third quarter, and by the middle of the third quarter, shut them down.
Yes.
That's the goal.
That would be ideal.
You don't want those guys playing 35 minutes against the Blazers on the last game of the season.
No.
So I think that's the goal, and if you could do that, then you got the 6th spot, and you end up with giving Wiggins his break, you give Draymond a break, let the guys go ahead and get healthy.
That sounds good to me. All right, the Warriors, 5 games over 500 for the first time this season. 1 game left, and maybe the postseason already locked up. 3-6. 3-6.
Let's do it.
Last YouTube, what do we have in here? Arjun says, hey, y'all from India.
Oh.
It's been ages since I was able to join a live 4 years. Well, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. We're happy we can recap, the game for wherever you're watching. We always love knowing where you're watching. Lots of people from Brazil, lots of people from the Philippines, lots of people from Australia.
And that's the thing.
Cool.
I mean, the Warriors over the past 7, 8, 9 years have kind of developed this global footprint that they didn't have before.
Yeah.
They didn't have before. And a lot of that, of course, traces back to number 30.
Yeah.
I mean, Steph is so popular around the world that and they win games with him. And so next thing you know, Warriors fans, first of all, you saw it around the NBA. You go to visiting arenas, you go to visiting arenas, and there's always a sizable contingent of Warriors fans, no matter where you go.
Sure. Yeah,
no matter where you go. Some places that were smaller than that, like San Antonio was tough, but when you go to the eastern cities, Philadelphia, you go to Philadelphia, you go to
the cities where there's a lot of transplants.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so, and the Kings, they've been in the NBA backwater for a few years. Think they wouldn't love to
Yes. With the Coach of the Year, Mike Brown, do you think they would love to make a statement, a first-round statement?
They couldn't make a bigger statement than to beat the Warriors.
Yeah.
They couldn't.
Yeah.
And so there's so many reasons why this series deserves to be played.
This will be the best first-round series. It's almost like you wish the NBA could save this for later. You know? Like a little more eyeballs on this one, but no, this will be the best first-round series.
Yeah, because, I mean, the Kings have the league's best offense.
Yeah.
Scoring-wise. I mean, and so, and their defense is problematic, and I don't know that it'll get fixed in the postseason, but the Warriors' defense has been problematic on the road all season. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that'll get fixed in the postseason. So there's so many intriguing elements to this series that I want to see it play out because there's so many unknowns about these two teams.
There you go. All right. Well said. We're excited. Thanks for watching, and we will see you Sunday for that Blazers game.
Right. 12:30.
Let's hope there's enough for us to talk about.
There will be, please.